Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to American Falls by Lancyboi. Happy second day of November. Hope you're all having a good Wednesday. Maybe start to a Wednesday. Maybe it's the end of a Wednesday. Maybe it's not even a Wednesday at all for you. So you couldn't care less about it being a good Wednesday. But it's good to have you here. It's good to be back on the old American Falls. We are continuing our adventure into mediocrity as we continue to do contracts for American Falls proper, making some cash, getting it done, building trust, building relationships, building friendships as we go along. Almost the opposite of what I did on Tranquil Waters. It was time for us to get out of Tranquil Waters. I'll tell you what, towards the end there, I was not feeling the love of the community. Let's just say. When you get to a point where the church won't even let you go there on Sunday, you know you burned some bridges. That's okay. We moved on. Onward and upward. Getting it done. We're at 60,000, well, roughly 59 and a half, close to 60. We lose a little bit of money each evening due to property maintenance, I guess they call it. But we're getting it done. We are taking advantage as much as possible of the equipment that we borrowed for these contracts. So borrow once, use several times, I guess is the motto. As long as we can continue to get away with that, I'm all for it. That's actually a base game thing. That's not a mod. The game, for some reason, allows you to borrow equipment and go to town, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to take advantage of it while we can. We're not able to take advantage of a lot of things on this Let's Play, but that's one of them that I am surely going to take advantage of. So we've got this cultivating job and already 10% complete. We've got this cultivating job. I think we've got one more cultivating job. And I went ahead and got us lined up for... I think I went ahead and lined us up for that lime job. Figured why not? Let's give it a go. It's a little bit something different. This thing looks like it's recently been limed. So yeah, we're gonna tackle a lime job. That sounds naughty. I don't know why that sounds naughty, but it sounds naughty. I leased that spreader that we were looking at last time, so it's waiting for us at the store. I got a little early advance on that. Now that I'm thinking about it, did I lease that this morning before I launched the game? I did indeed. Okay. Because, of course, if you lease equipment and you keep it overnight, well, you're paying for a full lease again, which kind of sucks, but that's why we're avoiding that situation. We do have the lease to own mod enabled, so we are able to lease equipment to own it. I guess I didn't really think about that. That's an option for us instead of having to buy... You know, that might not be a bad option for us. Instead of having to put up $300,000, $400,000 up front, we could just lease a beefy tractor and pay for it over time. I think that's actually cheaper than taking a loan because I don't think the lease to own mod has interest. I don't think you pay interest on that. I don't think about that. Let's give that some thought. It's nice to buy it. I mean, it's nice to just pay for it and get it over with, but we could just wait until we have enough money in the bank, I guess, and just pay cash and be done with it. But I don't know if I want to wait that long. Plus... Yeah, I don't know if I want to wait that long. We'll see how contracts go. We'll see if we can score. We'll see if we can score a couple big ones, a couple big contracts that might get us some quicker money in the bank. Large contracts are kind of harder to come by on a map like this where the fields aren't massive. And there's only really 2 fairly large fields on this map. Otherwise, we're not going to be running across these beefy contracts that pay out, you know, over 40 grand. Unless, of course, we go back to Sugarcane Heaven, or what is it, Sugarcane Heaven or Poplar Paradise. But we are still running with the Deutz. Of course, they got rid of my Warrior paint job, which I'm not thrilled with, but what are you going to do? It runs as good green as it does charcoal. I guess the Warrior is kind of a, what is it, like a charcoal, carbony black something or other. Some people call it a sling blade. I call it a sling blade. Some people call it a Kaiser blade. I think that's what it was. I looked that up after yesterday's episode. It was bugging me. I didn't get a chance to watch Sling Blade, but I did look up. I watched that scene. I watched that scene when he was sitting there with Boy Howdy. I forget what his name is in the movie, but it's Dwight Yoakam, and he's telling his story about when he was a kid and catching his mom with some dude, some other kid. Jesse Dixon. That's right. He caught his mom with Jesse Dixon. Just seen red. That is a creepy scene. The music. I'll tell you what, once in a while, so we're going to see the sunset today on American Falls, aren't we? Once in a while, I don't know, when I was in college studying music, we got into some discussions about the effects of music in Hollywood and scenes and different things. It was an interesting discussion, but my professor at the time, well, somebody's taking an early walk over there. That's kind of creepy. My professor at the time set it up so that we could watch a variety of scenes without music. Just dialogue and whatever other noise was in the scene. And wow. What an impact music has on scenes. I mean, you turn down the audio sometimes on some dramatic scenes. I mean, check out Jaws sometime without the music. It's just a fish swimming around. It's kind of weird how much music impacts stuff like that. I don't know. I argue music is the universal language. In fact, I think I actually wrote a paper on that one time about music being the universal language versus math. A lot of people will say math is the universal language. I beg to differ. I understand why people might think math is. I get it. But math doesn't have emotion. I couldn't write a mathematical equation, have you look at it, and have you feel anything. Have you feel sad or happy or angry or nervous or anxious. But music can do that. Music can definitely do that. And music doesn't need a language. You can get the message from music without knowing the language it's sung in. Or if there isn't a singer, you're listening to some Nice classical or something along those lines. That's a different ball game. Yeah, math is not the universal language. Let me know what you think. You think math is a universal language? I think about a world without music, and that's not a world I want to be a part of. A world without math? I might be alright with that. Probably wouldn't have to pay bills. That would be alright. Can you imagine a life without having to pay bills? That's one thing I always take away from, like, when I watch Star Trek. Not Star Trek, but, well, I'm sure it's probably Star Trek, but I watched the Orville. I don't know if any of you ever watched that show. What's his face from Family Guy? Seth something. Can never remember names. Seth McEwen. Seth McGowan. Seth MacFarlane. I can't remember. It's something McFarlane? McFerrin? McCheese? I don't know. Anyways, one thing that I always thought was interesting about that show, they would talk about it, is how society evolved to where money was no longer anything. There was nothing, there was no money. People didn't have to pay for food. People didn't have to pay for anything. I think it was at that point, because they had the little fancy machines that could just create a pizza. You want a pizza? Spits out a pizza. And people were like, well, man, if people don't have to have jobs, look at how beautiful that sunset is. You know, people don't have to have jobs. How can it not be chaos? Not just a bunch of people laying around doing nothing. And according to the show, people found value in other things, doing what they want to do. Bettering society. Wouldn't that be interesting? I think it's fairy tale, but it's an interesting fairy tale. I'm starting to kind of get used to this GPS, no GPS thing. I'm not saying I like it, but I feel like I'm starting to get a little more used to it. Which is, I guess, good, because then when I can have it again, I'm really going to like it. It's like when you go on a diet and you don't allow yourself to have certain good foods. Everything that tastes good is bad for you, one way or another. And then if you try to find a substitute for it because it's a healthy substitute, it's almost worse than not having it at all. Like my buddy, diabetic, unbeknownst to me, mind you, I learned my lesson the hard way. Diabetic candy, I don't know, is that what they call it? Sugar-free candy? Candy that's meant for diabetics has a very strong laxative property to it. And one day I was over at his house while he was playing World of Warcraft, like he often did in his boxer shorts, with a brick of cheese next to him. Didn't understand the brick of cheese, but he sure liked it. He had a bag of gummy bears, sugar-free gummy bears. Now, had I been more observant and read the warnings on the back of the bag, or whatever was on there, I saw that later, mind you, I would have known not to stuff my cheeks full of sugar-free gummy bears. Oh my goodness. I don't think it was more than 3 or 4 hours. before I paid the dear price for eating too many sugar-free candies. Of course, he got a big chuckle out of it. I don't know. Is that a thing? I think I remember looking online and finding out that that is a thing. I don't know if it affects everybody that way, but boy, those candies made me regret ever eating them. And they were supposed to be healthy. They're sugar-free. Nothing that makes me feel the way I did can be healthy. That can't be good for you, man. I mean, oh, it was a rough ride. A very rough ride indeed. Aren't those fun stories to tell? While watching Farming Simulator. I forget who it was. Is it Jeffrey? And somebody, I think it might be Jeffrey. I forget who it is now. Somebody who doesn't have, who I guess watches these episodes at work but can't really watch them. They have to just listen to them. He was telling me about that. I kind of got a chuckle out of that because I've been there where you're just listening to YouTube and you're not able to like completely, at least not be seen watching it kind of thing, you know? And I can't imagine turning on one of these episodes going, oh, that's kind of neat. Looks like he's going to be doing some cultivating work today. I'm going to watch that. About 10 minutes in, yeah, man, I spent the afternoon on the John from some sugar-free gummy bears. What are you going to do? You get what you get. Get what you pay for. I don't know. It's pretty sad. I need to start paying a little bit closer attention to the progress on some of these contracts. I think sometimes I go over the necessary amount, and we don't have that kind of luxury. Somebody else made a good comment. I forget who it was. My apologies. I'm horrible at it. It's nothing personal. I'm just really, really bad at remembering some things. But somebody else made a good comment about the clock up there on the right hand side, and they said, you know, if you just take that thing and hide it, it'll be a lot less stressful. And I think they're right. I think it's a self-induced stress, having that ticking time clock up there. And I think if I just hide it and we just go about our business through the day, it probably would be a lot better. The only downside to that is I guess I could do that, and I could just check the time before we take a contract to make sure we're not going to fail it. I don't want to fail a contract because we get penalized. Do you say penalized or penalized? I always try to avoid names that are normally used other ways, if possible. Kind of like Uranus, you know? Try and say Uranus. Try and say penalized instead of penalized. Try to say shatteed, you know? Because you don't want to be naughty. Say shatteed. I don't know. I guess I was just raised. I was raised that that cursing was a very bad thing, just a bad thing, and I was raised that it was naughty. You know, like when I was a kid, you know, swearing was naughty, and you only swore when you were away from home with your buddies because it was funny, it was cool, because you could swear. Mom and Dad weren't around. I kind of wonder sometimes if Mom and Dad didn't make it naughty, if I would have even cared about it. You know what I'm saying? I think I probably would have, because your friends, you know, also know that it's naughty. You know, you drop an F-bomb here or there in the playground and it's like, ooh, You're a gangster. I just teach my kids. You sound, to me, you just sound. In a lot of circles, you just don't sound smart. You know, use good grammar when you, as best you can, and find better words. But sometimes a good F-bomb just fits the situation. And let's face it, when we're watching TV and there's shows like The Sopranos or some of these shows that are relatively, I don't know, brutal at times and stuff, you know those people aren't walking around going, gee golly, you know, what the frick happened? I mean, come on, that's not the world they live in. And I'm not offended by cursing, but I just think it does catch my attention if it's overused. I just feel like, come on, you can do better than that, right? But I think some of it, you know, you get into social things, you get into stuff like that. But it's just kind of funny how we've decided as a society what's a naughty word. Who decided that, you know? At what point did somebody say, hey, the F-bomb is a naughty word? Watch this person. I'm going to freak him out. Oh, that horn's not going to freak him out. You know, I shouldn't be doing that. We're new. We're new in the community, and here I am already ruining it, ruining our reputation. Oh, giddy up. Let's check our progress, shall we? 94 in the percentile. Not too shabby. We should have this baby knocked out in the next couple of minutes. I did add some fast track mods from the in-game mod hub. There's one that I really wanted to add, kind of really wanted to add it, and it's by My Game Steam. In fact, I think we actually owned that. I think I bought that fast track on another Let's Play. Either that or I leased it or something, but it's a really nice fast track with some little bit higher horsepower ratings and stuff, and it's got this nice paint scheme to it that looks pretty sweet. You can get a roof rack for it. Yeah, it looks bad to the bone, but it's also not in the Giants in-game mod hub. Trying to steer clear of outside mods. So we're going to take a quick peek ski at these fast tracks. I'm kind of leaning towards getting a fast track for our first tractor. I just like the idea of that combination of having a little bit more speed to it. And see, I do see JCBs in my area, not tractors usually though. Most JCBs I see will be telehandlers. I see some telehandlers, maybe some, maybe a skid steer here and there, but JCB seems to, if I see, in my area at least, if I see a JCB, it's probably going to be a telehandler. And we wrap this baby up. Let's see what we got here. Active. Oh, we don't have another. Oh, we don't have a cultivating gig active. 1, 2, 3. We've got this spread job. What's we've got the liming contract. We've got a weeding contract. We could definitely lease a cheap weeder, but oh, that's $525. No, thank you. That barely pays for the gas. Fertilizing, cultivating, yeah, there's nothing much going on there. All right. Store's open. I think the store is over there, I believe. If I'm not sadly mistaken. Am I sadly mistaken? The store should be to our lefty, yeah. Let's go to the store and drop off this cultivator. We don't have to return it. In fact, we don't want to return it yet. We don't want to lose our tractor. Tractor's getting a little dirty. I'm not paying for a wash job. Not on leased equipment. Yeah, there's our spreader. Let's get that hooked up here. Beauty. Cover, unfold it. Nice. Oh, it's got a little folding action? What is that all about? Oh, yeah, okay. It's got a little foldy unfoldy. Or is that just the cover that does that? That's the in. Oh, yeah, okay. I gotcha. Get a little step stool down there so you can stand up there and dump off your lime or whatever and whatnot. We need to buy lime. What did we decide we needed for lime? Was it 6 bags or 7 bags? Let's see. Field 36. Field 36. Lime almost, we'll have to go with 12,000 liters. We'll have some left over, hopefully, if I do my job well. What's a pallet of lime running us? Do we have a pallet of lime? Probably not, huh? Seeds, mineral feed, seeds, lime. $450 for 1,050. That sounds more expensive than the bags. $350 for 2,000. Oh, yeah. Okay. 6 bags of lime is 12,000 liters. That's going to run us 2,100 smackaroonies. Of course, we're not going to be able to take it all straight away. So we'll have to make another trip back to get it. And field 36, we're in the blazes. Right there. Right there. We'll take a right ski out. Oh, that's right. Oh. 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 That's easy. All right. I can probably get lost getting there. Leave it to me to be able to get lost going to a field that's probably 3 blocks away. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. I think this thing holds roughly 7,000 if I remember correctly. Yeah, beauty. Locked and loaded. Let's get out of Dodge. Let's get over to our field. And let's take a quick peek at what we're up against. Let's see how we even get there. Whoa, dude! And he's dead. Oh well. Win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. I don't think we've worked over in this neck of the woods yet. By the old 42 gas station. The Phillips 42. Is that what it's supposed to be? I think this is our field right here. Right chair. Yeah. I don't want to be spreading the wrong field. That would be uncool. Now I think... let's get a feel for exactly how wide this is. Obviously, it's going to be easy to see since we're spreading lime onto a black field. That should be easy peasy. Line her up, Brad. I think you're misguided, but let's see. Yeah, we could probably be over a little further, but nice. We'll get the job done. I really don't want to have to overdo it on the lime, because obviously that's just going to take more out of our profit margin. This job's not exactly going to be a killer profit job for us, but at least it's not cultivating. We could be cultivating till the cows come home, I think, this time of year, especially with the way contracts are. And just kind of playing it like we know, you know, like doesn't that field look like chocolate? Kind of makes me want some chocolate. Just gonna play it the way the game likes it. You don't have to be 100%. Majority rules on these contracts. So being picky in the corners is definitely not worth it, I don't think. I think if I can stay on this little line right here, we're in pretty good shape. I'm going to be running out shortly. All right. So that was a little over half of our purchased lime. We might just make it. We might just get lucky enough to make it. But I am going to call that an episode. Leave a cliffhanger for you. Is Brad going to make it? Kind of do the Batman thing. Will there be enough lime for Brad to make this contract complete? Or will he need to buy more lime? Stay tuned. Same bat channel, same bat time. You all take care of yourselves. Make sure you take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. It's always important. And we will be back here on American Falls tomorrow with some more liming action. Looks like we'll have time in the day here to be able to scoop up another contract. So we'll have to figure out something to do to keep making money. And yeah, and we'll go from there. Oh, we didn't have a chance to look at the fast tracks. We'll do that next time too. We'll check out some of these fast tracks that I have and see if any of them make sense to purchase next time. But thanks, everyone. I always appreciate you being here, for your support, for your awesome comments. Keep them coming. Really appreciate it. And as always, come on, Mr. Tarp. Are you not... Oh, maybe I had it. Did I have it down? There we go. And, of course, you're always welcome to subscribe and check out the Discord channel. Other than that, you take care of yourselves, everyone. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.